Hi, this is Shauna. Thank you so much for joining Live the Season Life. I appreciate you for tuning in. Welcome if this is your first time here. I do hope that you would consider subscribing to this channel and joining the Live the Season Life family. Today, I want to discuss a mindset shift regarding my planner that has made a world of difference for me. Now, there are a million ways to use and manage your planner and to use your planner, and a lot of the content that I've seen online has to do with how you're actually managing your time. When I stopped designing my planner to manage my time and shifted to designing my planner to manage my decisions, it opened up a whole new world of productivity and peace for me. And I hope that's what it will do for you as well. So if you want to understand more about what that means, stay tuned. What led me to make this shift was the fact that as I was building and constructing my planner as it is, I realized that my planner was creating more decisions for me, which made the process of using the planner very overwhelming. And honestly, it was a struggle. It was a struggle to use my planner. It was a struggle to open it up and have to figure out what to do and what do I write down and how do I do the thing and which stickers do I use, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff is great, which mind you, if you want me to write content on planners and stickers, I'm not against planners and stickers, don't get me wrong. But if you want to know my opinion on planners and stickers, comment down below. I might do a video for you on that. But I had to make the shift. I don't need my planner to create more decisions for me. I need my planner to eliminate those decisions. You see, in decision planner world, every item in your planner and every page in your planner has to earn its place. If it adds but doesn't remove mental work for you, it doesn't belong in your planner. If you open your planner and you have to spend a lot of time thinking about what am I supposed to write down and how am I supposed to use this section, your planner's not working for you. Use your planner to eliminate your decisions. A lot of planner systems will tell you where you need to be at 10 o'clock. The mindset shift that I'm talking about here is not where you have to be at 10 o'clock, but rather, given where I am right now in the day, what is the next decision that's already been made for me? Where has the mental load already been lifted? Because I've built a planner that allows me to be less overwhelmed and therefore more productive. And on that note, for myself, I had to choose which thoughts I submit to. There are some days that are harder than other days and some days that feel completely impossible, but I realize that if I can build a system that helps me make decisions about where I'm supposed to be or what is the next decision that's already been made for me, it makes the world a whole lot easier. And it gives me the authority to allow for moments in my day that I can enjoy the whimsy of the day as I would prefer to do. I think we all would prefer to enjoy the whimsy of the day. But alas, things have to get done, bills must be paid. It's the world we live in. If you feel like your planner isn't actually helping you, or if you find yourself leaving your planner off to the side and not really using it, or if you look at other people's planners and you think, wow, how are they able to get so much done, but mine isn't doing that for me? It could be that you need to consider how you're using your planner and what it's helping you to accomplish. Anybody can manage time in any format. There, of course, are Outlook calendars that many of us have, Google calendars and Monday.com, and all these different ways that we can manage our time. We have timers on our phone. We have schedules on our phone. We have our schedule. We don't need a planner to manage our schedule. We need planners that help us manage our decisions. Using your planner as a decision tool and not just as a time management tool is a very interesting shift to make. And I wanted to describe for you a few ways in which you can accomplish that if that's something you feel that you need. There are a few questions that you can ask yourself to help along the process of deciding how to use your planner as a decision tool. The first thing is to ask yourself which decisions are most difficult. When I think through my day-to-day life, and of course there are all the work decisions you have to make and home decisions you have to make and what are you going to wear and those things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. One thing that was really nagging me was around cooking and what to make for dinner and what to make for lunch and how to stock the refrigerator. That was the most difficult, frustrating decision for me to make because I felt like I was having to cook 4 or 5 different meals and no one was ever happy. So I was able to configure my planner and my planning system in a way to eliminate the decision-making around grocery shopping and meal planning. I won't get into the details of it right now, but I will link below the video that I have about going to the grocery store only twice a week. That has totally transformed my week, transformed my life when it comes to grocery shopping and cooking for my family. And using my planner and setting up my planning system to support that decision has made a world of difference. So when you think about the decisions that are most difficult in your life to make, there are a couple of things that you can do. One, you can set up a Q&A for yourself. So in the example of meal planning and grocery shopping, in my planner, I actually have, and this is so super simple, I have a Post-it note that I have in my planner, and it has meal plan ideas. And I normally go through this list and decide what am I going to eat for the week based on what the options are listed here. Now, of course, I can add other options. Of course, if there's this new recipe I want to try, I can add it to the list. But to avoid me having to mull over the decision of what in the world am I going to eat for my first lunch or my second lunch for the course of the week, I can easily pull from this list what sounds interesting and appetizing and add that to my meal plan for the week, thus eliminating the decision of what am I going to eat. I have a similar list for dinners that I know my family likes, that I know that my family enjoys. So it's super easy for me to go to the list of 10 things that I know will be winners in my family and pull from that list to make decisions about what are we going to eat over the course of the week and what do I need to go to the grocery store to purchase for that portion of the week. Other options you may consider are things like writing down what the allergies are, writing down what are epic fails in terms of meals and things you should never ever try again with your family. We all have those. And include on your list certain takeout options that work perfectly for your family on those weeks where you either don't have the time, don't have the interest, or don't have the energy to cook. Decision made, problem solved, overwhelm as far as that's concerned is gone. So the first question you can ask yourself is, what decisions are most difficult? And go ahead and create your options in your Q&A around what those decisions are to help make your week a little bit easier. The next question you can ask yourself is, what decisions present the most disruption? What decisions, when they're made, either cause you to be very frantic or even anxious about, am I making the right decision? What did I decide last time? Am I thinking about this in the right way? Or an item that, depending on how you decide, can result in a lot of turmoil. Thinking ahead about the decisions that create the most disruption allows you to have a process in place so that when your mind diverts or your mind gets confused or there are too many variables being presented, you have a path forward that you can trust, that you're comfortable with, that you've already decided when your mind was calm of how you're going to proceed forward. So when you think about those things, those decisions that present the most disruption, one thing that you can do is have a simple list where you write the pros, the cons, and the lessons learned. So the pros of if you decide on that particular item to allow for something to happen, what are the great things that can happen? What are the bad things that can happen? And if you can, lessons learned. So what happened the last time that I agreed to this? A simple item might be a bedtime for either yourself or for your kids. Let's say your kids want to stay up to midnight and finish a movie, or you want to stay up to midnight and finish a movie. What are the pros of doing that? Meaning you were entertained, you got to have a new experience, it was super fun, you got to do all these things that you don't normally get to do. That's the great thing about it. But the con to staying up to midnight to finish a movie for myself and for my kids is being tired and cranky the next day, not being able to wake up on time for school or work or for an appointment that you have, your whole circadian rhythm being off, so it takes you a couple of days to kind of get yourself back on schedule and where you're able to actually sit down and go to bed at a decent hour. All these things that can happen when you make the choice to stay up until midnight to finish that movie. Lessons learned from this might be something to the effect of, it's fun to watch a movie and it's fun to stay up until midnight, but we need to make sure that we only stay up until midnight to finish a movie on a Friday night when we don't have any activities planned on Saturday morning, or only at grandma's house, or certain parameters under which you can make that decision and not have to worry about the outcome of what happens if you choose to go forward with whatever that decision is. So that's just one example. I'm curious to know from you. Comment down below, what decisions in your life present the most disruption that you feel like it totally throws you out of whack, or it generates a lot of anxiety or turmoil for you if you can't make a decision because you can't figure out what to decide to do. The next thing you can ask yourself is, what decisions do I need to actually track or manage? A very common example, one that I frequently use that I allow my planner to help me with as a decision-making tool, is around medications. I'm a woman of a particular age and I have certain medications that I need to take to keep my hormones in balance because of our friend perimenopause. So I've been using my planner to document when I need to change my medication, so that way the decision is made for me. I don't have to remember when it's time to make a change because my planner will tell me. And what's beautiful about it is not only does it help you manage your medications and manage your symptoms if that's what you need to track, but also it keeps a record of your medication. So next time you go to the doctor's office and they ask you a question like, when was the last time you blank? You have an answer for them because it's written right there in your planner. So it's super helpful to use your planner as a decision-making tool and as a documentation tool to make sure you can keep track of and manage things like your medications or any other health elements you want to keep track of. On that note, I will say the last thing to remember is that practice makes perfect. Nobody's perfect at using their planner. I'm not perfect at using my planner. Habits develop over time, and we have to really appreciate what that means. The word habit in the Latin refers to a way of being. A habit isn't just something you do, a habit is something you have. And anything worth having is worth working for. And I know that you have it in you. I hope this has been helpful for you. Let me know down in the comments, what are your thoughts about using your planner as a decision tool instead of using it as a time tracker? I think it's a really important distinction that we all have to make to figure out what's going to work best for us if we're going to really get into our planner. So again, thank you for watching. If you even got one nugget of information out of this video, I do hope that you would consider subscribing, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button. Bye.